You're watching Agenda, and Agenda has always been a show about audience and students and what they think about the day's big story. And of course, that's why we are tackling the second day of protests that have torn IIT Madras, where for the second day there were beef protests, and now the protests seem to have spread to other campuses as well, including Madras University, which was there in solidarity, and the dharna of students, and students also clashed with police while they were demanding justice for a student who was attacked because he took part in a beef protest. And so what we're asking our guests and our audience today is there anything offensive about a form of protest? Is there anything offensive if someone holds a beef party to make a point about the government's new rules which ban the sale of cattle for slaughter? Of course, it comes on a day when the Rajasthan High Court has also passed an order asking why shouldn't the cow be given national status, and also asked the court and the government to implement those rules, something that the BJP told us that they support as well. Take a look at what the judge said, and then we'll get our guests to give their opinion on what they think about this idea.
मैं शुरू से धार्मिक आदमी हूँ। मैं 7वीं क्लास से भगवान शंकर की रुद्री का पाठ और गीता का पाठ करता हूँ। मुझे इनसे कोई भावना नहीं। मेरी अंतरात्मा की आवाज़ थी जो मैंने इसमें निर्णय के द्वारा प्रदर्शित की है। ये आत्मा की आपकी हमकी हमारी आवाज़ है। कोई भी चीज़ बाइंडिंग रूप इतनी सक्सेसफुल नहीं होती है जो आत्मा की आवाज़ सक्सेसफुल होती है। क्यों? कि धर्म से कानून निकला है, कानून से धर्म नहीं निकला।
The judge makes that order on the last day just before his retirement. So what do people think about it? Let me just introduce our panelists here today. It's all about students. So from the BJP, we have their Yuva Morcha leader, that is Shivam Chhabra. From the BAPSA, which is an Ambedkar student organization, we have Aspati, and also IIT Delhi Alumni Association Prabhat Kumar joins us here in studio. They have announced today that these kind of protests in IITs just don't befit such an institution. But first, I want to go across to the audience. The cow as a national animal, you are for it, you're against it. Tell me why.
I really don't feel that there's such a need to make the cow a national animal. That is itself is a very big statement, which really shows the agenda of that judge who said it, and shows that he has some political leanings, not political, but some certain leanings towards his whole, what he has to think about.
But you support it. Why?
It's really needed to make a cow a national animal, because we can see it lots of time the cow skin will be supplied, and according to the Hinduism, it's not right.
Okay, so two different opinions shows the divisions that we have, but let's ask our guests anyway. Shivam Chhabra, is that something that the BJP is trying to push a lot? Because many people have responded, whether it's Kerala. Kerala, of course, just to tell our viewers, the big development from there has been that the Chief Minister has asked for a meeting with other Chief Ministers as well to develop, to come across a way that they'll protest the centre's rules. Shivam?
Sunita, we need to understand the situation. The way a cow was slaughtered right and the Churaha of in Kerala.
You're talking about the Youth Congress
exactly.
protest. Yeah.
The way they probably wanted to register their way of protest against what a notification of the government of India. I really condemn that. I mean, it's a barbaric act. You know, public slaughtering is just illegal in this country. Let us make this. Let us make it a point. Number two, and in fact, a cow and calves have already been given, have been secured, and so they have been prevented by the Constitution of India. So we need to understand this thing very, very specifically.
Do you support the cow as a national animal?
Well, why not? What's the issue? If that ensures safety of cow being slaughtered on the streets of Kerala, or for that matter slaughtered on the streets of Bangalore, or for that matter anywhere, why not? What's the issue?
Aspati?
I think that why we have to make cow as a national animal. What about the other animals? That this notification which issued by the central government, it didn't included goat, sheep or pig. Why we
even though it was about prevention of cruelty
and cruelty against animals,
right?
So why it excluded some animals and why it included some specific animals? Is it to protect the animals, or what's the need of making cow as a national animal? Is there any need?
When BJP leaders or other leaders point out that it is an animal which is sacrosanct and sacred for a majority of the people, what would you say to that?
I would say that.
Okay. Yeah.
See, I want to make a small point. We need to understand the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act. It was again 1960 year, which has been amended right now after the Supreme Court gave a judgment in 2016. Now we need to understand that it is not about beef ban. One, certainly being a Hindu, being a spokesperson of the right wing party, I completely am not in favor of any kind of a slaughter. That I want to make a point.
But even the Congress has condemned it, by the way.
Okay, just condemning. We need to understand the psyche behind doing this kind of an act, and why are we actually making it a point? Are we not up for this act, Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act? We need to understand it is just in order to regularize the entire process of actually the trade of cattle. See. There are two things.
But
what
about the argument by all farmers that the only people being taken to those markets for slaughter are the ones when they stop? Because NDTV carried a report from Bulandshahr on the cattle markets, and farmers saying only those who have stopped giving milk, they are taken over there.
Sunetra, we need to understand that whom are we trying to say? It is the Congress party who is making an allegation. It is the TMC which is making an allegation. It is the Keral's LDF which is making. Where are the farmers? Ultimately, this entire act is going to benefit the farmers, because ultimately what it says. I want to make it clear, because there is a lot of ambiguity about the entire act. This entire act says that if you are a buyer, you can ultimately go up to the farmer, buy directly from here. What's the issue? See, ultimately when the middlemen come into play, when these local markets come into play, there are a lot of filth into that. There is a lot of irregularities.
No, but people also point out that if you're stopping the markets, then you're hampering business. It's an economic activity.
Illegal business. Let us say illegal business.
Okay.